last minute. Any time you are cancel last minute no. It's because clinic and I am ma. That's how it should. No, my start. What do you say my start? What do you say my start? What do you say my start? To be and buy. This is much as I before we to make cancel last minute. Me tell say I'm out there. Oh. Sure. Mpacho nipa wo ho me ntia me. Omutie. Oh. What e be ama me? Oh. Me ni bia. Me ni ibia. It's in the food. What is the food? Oh dear. So why hear me? Okay. Hello. Hi. Welcome to my channel.
Hello. Hi. Welcome to my wife's channel. Thank you guys for supporting my wife. Thank you everyone. Try to subscribe and press the bell so that anytime she do a new video, everybody will get. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Okay, so today I'm a bit like behind schedule, but today I'm doing a video on representing myself at an employment tribunal in the UK. My partner's very tired, but he said he'll support me, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so I represented myself at the Employment Tribunal in the UK back at the end of March. It was a 6-day hearing. So we began at the end of March and it was completed at the beginning of April. I didn't have a lawyer. As I've previously stated, I represented myself, and I would just like to talk about how I felt facing that process. So I did go through a few emotions. I did feel intimidated. I felt very intimidated because of all the different procedures and protocols that I had to adhere to. I must say that the tribunal were very, very supportive. The judge and the panel were very, very flexible with me, perhaps because I was representing myself, and so they wanted to be as accommodating as they could. English is my second language. English isn't my first language, so I was able to secure some extra support in light of that. However, I did feel really intimidated by all the instructions. Before the actual hearing, you attend some preliminary hearings beforehand, and I believe we had maybe 4 or 5 preliminary hearings that we had to attend. The people in attendance would be a judge, the respondents, their legal representation, their lawyer, and myself. So because there were at least 4 or 5 preliminary hearings, it was just quite intense. I felt very stressed. Is the camera falling down? I felt very stressed leading to the tribunal. I would encourage anybody who does feel stressed in these circumstances to seek support, whether that be through your GP or counselling or therapy. I would recommend you receive support. I also felt emotionally charged. Hi, Ghost Gusser 56. I also felt did somebody just take their like back? But anyway, yeah, I also felt quite emotionally charged, meaning because I felt so emotional. Beforehand, I felt really emotionally charged because of everything that had gone on. Ghost Gusser 56, yes, I'm good. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining the live. Jeanette Jenkin, hi. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, I'm just talking about how I felt leading up to my employment tribunal, where I represented myself. So I felt emotionally charged because obviously you're reliving what happened, and you're you're reflecting on the perceived injustice that was done to you. So I felt emotionally charged, which is good and bad because, hi Marine Faisal, I hope you're well. So I did feel emotionally charged in that it can be good and bad. So it can motivate you to represent yourself and to, get things done, but it can also distract you. It can also be a distraction because sometimes by being emotional, it can backfire because you're just maybe speaking or acting through your emotions. Just to say as well, my husband does speak Arabic, so if there are any Arabic speakers here, let me know, and he'll be able to interpret on your behalf. I also felt offended due to the swamp shrimp pass. I also felt, yeah, that's my husband. Patrick, come on.
Hello, salam alaikum, Jamaa. كيف حالك يا جماعة؟
Okay, I also felt offended because of what happened originally. So I feel like I still carried those emotions of offence, which again can be good or bad because on one hand it can motivate you to get justice, but on the other hand it can add to the stress. I also felt like I was in pursuit of vindication. I also felt like I was in pursuit of justice, which again can motivate you because there will be times when you feel demotivated and there will be times you will feel discouraged. But yeah, I also felt out of my depth, and I would recommend if anyone's going to represent themselves in an employment tribunal, how strong is your relationship with your husband? That's quite a personal question. How strong is your relationship with your loved ones? Yeah, so I did feel out of my depth, definitely, because I'm not a qualified lawyer, and so I did feel out of my depth, leading up to the hearing, which also made me feel a bit nervous, but yeah, I definitely felt out of my depth. There's a lot of studying that needs to be done. There's a lot of reading up on things. There's a lot of research to be done as well. So that was, that was quite daunting. Hi, Lauren Graham. Thank you for joining my live. Yeah, so I felt out of my depth. I also felt quite worried. I also felt quite worried about the process, about what would transpire, about any consequences. I did feel quite worried. So that was another emotion I felt. Um, I would say it's advisable to get a lawyer in these circumstances. I can afford one, but it is advisable to get a lawyer because then they can take on all the stress and anxiety, and they won't be as triggered as you would be, basically. So where possible, just get a lawyer. I also felt hopeful. About what the outcome would be. I felt hopeful that I would receive justice. I felt hopeful that I would be vindicated. So I also felt hopeful beforehand. Yeah. There was a lot of admin. Oh, thank you, Lauren Graham. Let me know what type of content you'd like me to do going forward. But thank you very much, Lauren Graham. So there was a lot of preparation time for the for the hearing, a lot of admin to do, a lot of reading to do, just a lot of preparation. And if you do win your case, you can apply for a preparation order, which means you'll be paid for all the time you spent preparing your case. I did also feel triggered when just when I would hear what was being said about me, when, things that were untrue, and just reliving the whole experience, that really made me feel triggered. Reliving the situation, I mean, as well as cross examining the witnesses, I was also cross examined, and the questions that they were put to me and the way I was made to feel was very triggering. So that was really difficult. I did send the link to the hearing to my friends and family so they could watch the hearing online and follow it. Yeah. I also felt quite stigmatized. Obviously, when you do take your employer or previous employer to a tribunal, there can be a backlash. Also, going forward, it can reflect poorly on you for prospective employers. So I did feel stigmatized. A lot of people don't really want to stand with you because obviously they don't want any wahala, they don't want any issues going forward. So that was really difficult. And lastly, I just want to say that, I felt like I was in a dream. Like, I felt like it wasn't real life. I felt like I was just, I don't know. Yeah, I just felt like I was in a dream. I felt like it wasn't real. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But most of all, what I will say is that I was very proud of myself, and that can be quite conflicting with the other emotions. But I was very, very much proud of myself. I was proud that I was willing to face all that drama and all that protocol and all that intimidation for something that I believed in, and in the name of justice. I don't believe that my previous employees thought I would actually go through with it. I think that they thought I was calling their bluff. I honestly don't think that they thought it would get to the point it did. I had four claims. I lost three of them, and I won one of them, and I received compensation for one of them, for the one that I won, basically. And the advice that I would give to anybody is definitely get a lawyer if you can afford it, or any legal aid. I mean, I couldn't. I didn't have a choice. I had to represent myself, but definitely get a lawyer or legal aid where possible, and also as well, don't be secretive about it. I didn't tell much people about it while I was going through it, and because of that, I believe I just missed out on some support that I could have accessed, which would have been really helpful to me in hindsight. So I would say try and get as much support as you can. Don't be secretive about it. Sometimes, I guess, when we're being secretive, we feel like we're being strategic, but sometimes that can cause us to lose out on support that would have been made available to us. So, in a summary, leading up to my employment tribunal, where I represented myself, I did feel intimidated, I did feel stressed, I felt emotionally charged, I was very offended. Yeah, the stream broke. Sorry about that. That was my fault. A Belayham. It did break. But yeah, so what I was saying is that the emotions that I felt leading up to the employment tribunal, where I represented myself, was that I felt intimidated, I felt stressed, I felt emotionally charged. I was very offended. Felt I was in pursuit of justice. I was out of my depth. I felt very worried. I was hopeful. I was spending a lot of admin time. There was a lot of preparation time. I felt triggered by what I was hearing, especially when I was being cross-examined and lies that were told about me. I felt stigmatized, but I was really proud of myself, really, really proud of myself. Also, with the support of loved ones such as this, my husband, through support of loved ones, it did make things a lot better. But then, like I said, that where possible, you should access legal support, legal aid, a lawyer where possible. I would definitely recommend that. But I had support. I had support from my husband, which was very useful. But it can be a very lonely and stressful place. Yeah, so that's how I felt leading up to the hearing. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at all. So this is for an employment tribunal in the UK. So for other countries, I'm not sure what the protocol would be. But if anybody's got any questions at all about the employment hearing, I'll be happy to take any questions at all. So I'll just wait for a bit. I think it's nearly bedtime. See, my partner's really tired. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions about the employment tribunal in the UK, feel free to put it in the chat and I will answer them as best I can. Has anybody here ever been to an employment tribunal, or is anybody considering it at all? I got support from ACAS, which is a British thing. It's ACAS. Yeah, so you can get support on employment matters from there. I also contacted my union. Yeah, so also there's a lot of help online. If you're based in the United Kingdom, just be aware that they're going to make a lot of changes in regards to the employment bill. There's going to be like a new employment bill. So if you go online on gov.uk, you'll be able to see what the proposals are. It's already gone through Parliament. It went through Parliament in October 2024. So there will be some new employment rules which will definitely have an effect on any claims to be made to the Employment Tribunal in future. So yeah, that was my experience. Just let me know if you have any questions. Today I was watched another live after church in the morning, and it was a channel called That Mum of Five, and it was really interesting. It was really good actually. It's really, really interesting, and so I was in the chat and stuff. So that was really good, and she covers lots of topics. She's got lots of content. So yeah, that was a really good thing to be involved in, and her channel is That Mum of Five. So yeah, we're gonna have to go to bed soon. So there aren't any questions at all. Hey, we know you what live we see. See what you Hey. Yes, there aren't any questions, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna go. But yeah, if there's anybody planning to take a claim to the Employment Tribunal, I would definitely encourage you to at least put in a claim, because there's a time frame to do it within. There's a deadline to do it in, and also as well, you can at least put the claim in, and if you change your mind, you can just withdraw it. But also as well, there's a new employment bill coming into play. I think it's due to come in spring 2026, but it's already been put through Parliament in October 2024. So it's well on the way of coming in. So you may want to look up the new rules and stuff. But yeah, so if nobody else has got any questions, I will end the live. But is there any questions at all? I'll probably speak more about the hearing in future. One thing I'll say is always appeal. Always appeal. Always appeal. Okay, so I'm going to end the live now. Thank you for liking the live, and thank you for joining. I hope that was helpful in some way. And yeah, if anybody is due to attend an employment tribunal in the UK, feel free to reach out, and I can give you any, I can share my experience with you in how my one went. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you to my partner for supporting me, because this is quite hard to talk about. But thank you to my partner for supporting me. Thank you. Thank you, Adak.
Yeah, you're
for
welcome.
supporting me.
Yeah. Hello, thank you guys. Why you don't wait for me to wrap it up?
Okay, wrap it up. Okay, wrap it up.
Okay, so I'm with you.
I'm with you. I asked my family, but maybe do no.
Okay.
Thank you. And I have to phone cry.
Why didn't you watch